Hey Internet, I'm Chris, and this is the place on the internet where I talk about comics, movies, games, and things I'm generally passionate about. Over the past few months, when I started this channel, I wanted to talk about a lot of things, as I said, comics, movies, and games. And this channel slowly evolved into the Absolute Batman channel, just because I have been absolutely hype about the book, and it is finally here, and it lived up to the hype. And you guys have done a really good job of supporting me, and it's been great to see the response to all of my videos, and I want to thank all of you for that. Now, I want to talk about the success of Absolute Batman. Early on, we already knew that the first printing had a completely sold out at a distributor level and that they were going to a second printing. Now, Scott Snyder is happily announcing that the second printing has sold out and they are going to a third printing. So it'll be interesting to see how many printings of Absolute Batman we get and how many copies are actually sold of the book. I was able to go to Midtown Comics today. I saw a couple copies still on the shelf. I know people and friends in the comic community I've talked to have not been able to secure a first printing. A lot of shops have sold out, especially smaller ones. I'm really lucky that I live in New York City, where there's Midtown Comics, who also owns Lunar Distribution, who is the distributor for DC. They always have stacks and stacks of comics. Usually, like things like Ultimate Spider-Man #1 and stuff, I'm able to go the night of without like pulling it or anything and being able to grab the book, which is great. The other day, I was able to go to a signing with Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta, get my first printing signed, which was amazing to see the energy and enthusiasm around the book. And the industry has also responded. You've seen Rob Liefeld talk about the fact and celebrate that we finally have that book that people have been waiting to rally around in terms of success. The past few years have been doom and gloom. There hasn't been anything to get really excited about at the big two. And now with the Ultimate line at Marvel, and then you have the Absolute line and All In at DC, there's plenty to be excited about. And with Absolute Batman, what's really great about it is that it's also uplifted the other books in the line. Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Superman have cleared over 100,000 copies in their first printing, which to see a Superman and Wonder Woman book clear over 100,000 copies in the year of our Lord 2024 is insane and good for DC Comics and the comic industry as a whole, as comic book stores struggle to sort of navigate this post-pandemic world where, frankly, comics have struggled to gain any traction, and it is great to see where comics are and what a success Absolute Batman can do, and how the Ultimate line has also carried that success. We saw that Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1, the graphic novel, cracked the top 20 adult graphic novels list, which is insane for an American comic. That is the first time that has happened for Marvel in 4 years, and is well deserved. Love that book. It's still going strong, and the Ultimates is also amazing. And the success of Absolute Batman is also something that DC can really build on. They've locked in Scott Snyder for the next 2 years. Hopefully, Nick Dragotta is carrying with him in terms of that, because what they've done is this has the potential to be as big as Scott and Greg Capullo's New 52 run, which was famous for introducing the Court of Owls, and obviously is an iconic run that really birthed the sort of superstar writer that is Scott Snyder. He had done work before, but that is obviously what he's known for and has carried him into this really successful career where he's done a lot of great stuff, not just at DC. As obviously, he doesn't really need to be going back to Batman and sort of trying to do something different, but he went back and he was able to deliver not just something that was the spectacle of inverting the mythos of Batman, introducing the Batman who lives, but sort of giving something that is bombastic and also grounded emotionally and gives something fans to really dive deep into, where you're going to be following it month to month. You have to grab that copy. And I have to say, what's great about comics right now is that there are plenty of books, not just at Marvel and DC, that I have to check out almost at a weekly basis. There was a time, I'd say probably last year, which since I sort of got back into collecting, where there were times where I'd probably not go to the shop for a month and a half, and it almost was a chore where it's like, damn, I really gotta go and pick this up. A bunch of books that it's like, okay, these are miniseries that are dying out. It just wasn't too many great stories to motivate me to go to the shop and buy more. It was just like, hey, I got to pick up what I have. I wasn't adding things, I was subtracting things. And now I'm at a point right now where I'm just like, today I spent, $50 on new comics that came out this week, which is the first time I've done that in a while. That doesn't sound, there are Wednesday warriors that spend probably double that sometimes. But for me, I have DC Infinite Ultra, so I get those books 30 days after print. I have Marvel Unlimited, I have Global Comics, I have Comixology, I have all these different things that kind of keep my, my comic appetite full. So it's hard to sort of like spend that kind of money when some of these books, sometimes you spend the money and you're like, damn, I really, I really regret that. But a lot of what's going on right now is great work. I'm reading Johnny Quest by Joe Casey. I just picked up The Terminator from Dynamite, Declan Shelby, and Sal from Comic Pop, who does the backup story. I'm picked up another copy of Absolute Batman just for the hell of it. Like I'm like, you know what? Let me have one of rock and one of stock. And I picked up Batman and Robin from Philip Kennedy Johnson. I picked up Action Comics from Mark Waid. So there's so many different things that I'm excited about. The Green Lantern Civil Corps special from Jeremy Adams. So there's so much to be excited about, and I think Absolute Batman is one of those moments that we'll remember, and hopefully it's like the New 52 and some other iconic moments where you look back at like fondly in terms of people's comic collecting journey, and sort of, people look at it like the New 52 Batman or any other point where they jumped onto comics, the original Ultimate line. So it's great to see Absolute Batman not just live up to the hype, but really surpass expectations when it comes to sales and the story. So shout out to Scott Snyder, Nick Dragotta, the whole team at DC for really delivering something that fans, retailers, also the companies themselves can really get behind. And now when you have something like this, it could really raise the independence and hopefully bring some more eyeballs to those other publishers. Like I just said, I picked up 2 Dynamite books this week, which is infinitely more than I usually do, but because I'm in the shop more often and I'm picking up other things, it just tells you sort of like how exciting it is to be a comic fan right now. And after sort of like a lull period, I think we're really back to what's important, delivering great comic books that people could get behind versus like gimmicks and variants and all that. That's still there, but it's not the only reason you're at the shop. Let me know what you think. I'm really excited for the rest of the Absolute line. Absolute Wonder Woman's coming fast, and Absolute Superman, and then some other stuff like Absolute Green Lantern and Flash. I'm really excited for the Flash because I'm a big Jeff Lemire guy. So let me know what you're excited about. Peace.